Correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like the amount of light that was in the background of the last video, like from the window, was a lot, so I just closed the window. Speaking of the last video, there was a problem with it because I ended the video. The video's like not technically edited because I ended the video with that one song as the outro music, but that was all just like in one take. But I messed up on that take, and I had to edit it in YouTube Studios, which is awful, and I had to cut out a certain part to make it more of a smoother transition, and so it sounds slightly off, but then it just took forever for it to render, and so that's why the episode came out so late. It came out at like 8 p.m. I think, or something like that, maybe even later. I also didn't have time to create a thumbnail for that, so that's why it doesn't have that. I might make one today, but for now, as of recording this, it does not. I'm recording this at 7:40 a.m. just in case anything messes up. Now, you saw the title, you saw the thumbnail, you saw all that stuff. You know what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about predictions of the end time. Now, so I just looked up end time predictions on Google, and then the first thing that came up was the Wikipedia page, and there are a plethora amounts to go through, but I'm going to be going through, unless I have, well, I guess I have up until an hour to make a podcast. So sure, I'll go from the beginning. So starting from uh around the year 66 AD to 1000, I'm gonna read these, and then I'm gonna give my opinion on them. And I don't think I've heard most of these, if any of them. So yeah, this one was from 67 AD to 70 AD. It was proposed by Simon Bar Giora, uh, and Jewish Essenes, the Jewish Essene sect of ascetics saw the Jewish uprising against the Romans in 66 to 70 in Judea as the final end-time battle which would bring about the arrival of the Messiah. By the authority of Simon, coins were minted declaring the redemption of Israel. So it was a time of like turmoil between the Jews and the Romans, I'm assuming because of Jesus, and so they were thinking this is the most crazy the world can get. Jesus is gonna come and he's gonna save us because of the turmoil we're in. Lo and behold, it's been almost 2,000 years. Hasn't happened yet, but yeah. No, I mean, that's like something that most people when predicting the end times think of. It's just whenever like one specific thing happens in one specific place, and then people are like, well, guess we're in the end times, you know? I guess we're gonna all die. Um, but yeah, I can understand why they thought that. I'm gonna skip ahead now to the 11th to 15th centuries, which there's not much here. Uh, Probably because there's not much in general to hear from these centuries. They're not really that well known. So this next one was in 1033 AD. It was claimed by various Christians. And it says, following the failure of the prediction for January 1st of 1000, some theorists proposed that the end would occur 1,000 years after Jesus' death instead of his birth. So it says 1033 because, well, technically, first of all, I know this was at a different time, but they're technically wrong about when he died because he was actually born in 4 BC and died in 29 BC, scientifically speaking. So technically, like, these people like didn't have science back then. Like what is this? But no, I guess they thought it would be significant, a sort of significance happening. It's been 1,000 years since Jesus has died, and so therefore, he will now come back. And who knows? Maybe in well, according to what I believe he died in like 29 AD. So that's in like 6 years from now. That'll be 2,000 years since he's died, which is pretty crazy. But who knows? Maybe it'll happen then. I don't know. But I can understand this. I mean, but I feel like it's not gonna happen based on anything in time. Like it's not gonna happen because the date said a certain thingamajig about something. I think it's just gonna be when the time is right. It will happen. Hold on, let me just run real quick. Oh, that makes me look weird. Anyways, yeah, I feel like it's not gonna be based on any date or any significant date. So like if Jesus were to come back in 2029, I don't think that would be because it's been 2,000 years. I think that there will be other circumstances that would have caused him to come back. Then we have one from Pope Innocent, Pope Innocent the Third. Interesting name. Which what? Okay, wait. So the prediction was in 1284, but it says that Pope Innocent the Third died in 1216. So I guess these dates are when they think, like, not when the idea was proposed, but when they thought it was going to happen. So Pope Innocent the Third thought that the world would end 666 years after the. What in the world? Hold up. What in the world? Oh my goodness. Okay, sorry. I turned my desktop audio off for a reason because I didn't know if there were going to be any videos playing, but yeah, I just heard something in my headphones and I was like, what in the world is that? But anyways, that's not important. So we thought the world would end 666 years after the rise of Islam, in 618, which again, I mean, dealing with dates here, that's not really, uh, what is this, dude? Stop talking. I keep on hearing something in my headphones. It's probably because of this extension I got. It's called Speechify, but it's being annoying, but I'm gonna take it away now. Anyways, so yeah, again, dealing with dates doesn't really make sense, and so yeah, don't agree with it. It was in 1284. They weren't really smart back then, probably, but yeah, this next one was from. Wait, it says the dates predicted were 1290 and 1335, proposed by Joachimites. So hold up, does it have a pronunciation? Joachites, something like that. So it says after his 1260 prediction failed. Okay, so he. Oh, okay. This was there was a prediction earlier that I skipped because I didn't look interesting. It wasn't long enough. But anyways, his prediction in 1260 was that this Italian mystic determined the millennium would begin between the millennium that's capitalized millennium. I don't know what that means. Would begin between 1200 and 1260, and now he says that after his 1260 prediction failed, the followers of Joachim of Fior rescheduled the end rescheduled the end of the world to 1290 and then again to 1335. Like that sounds like they're scheduling it for them to do. They're scheduling their own end times from 1290 and then again in 1335. Well, I mean, Yeah, I don't understand what the wording on that means. Then this next one was from 1346 to 51. It was proposed by various Europeans, and it said that the Black Death spreading across Europe was interpreted by many as a sign of the end times, which the Black Death, according to Wikipedia, was a bubonic plague pandemic occurring in Western Eurasia and North Africa from 1346 to 1353. It is the most fatal pandemic recorded in human history, causing the deaths of 75 to 200 million people, peaking in Europe from 1347 to 1351. So they thought that the plague it wasn't going to be some sort of significant religious end time, but it was just going to be where everyone died. And I mean that was a significant. I mean I don't know what the population in Europe was at the time, but it was not that much, and so that was like probably a third of their population, maybe more. I don't know, but I mean that I I don't fault them for thinking that that's when the end times were. Next one is proposed in 1378 from Arnaldus de Villanova, which sounds Portuguese. I don't know what Nova's in Portuguese is new, but then again, Villa and de are both Spanish, so I don't know if it's Spanish or Portuguese. Um, anyways, so that's who it was proposed by, and he was another Joachite who wrote that the Antichrist was to come during this year. Okay, that's literally all it says. The Joachite that wrote that the Antichrist was going to come that year. Cool. Let me skip through some. Okay, so this one was proposed that the end of the world was going to be the 27th of May, 1528, proposed by Hans Hut, which is like Han Solo and Jabba the Hutt if they had a baby. Hans Hut. Amazing. And so it says that this German Anabaptist predicted the end would occur on this date. It doesn't give any more details. Also, Anabaptism is like a Christian movement where it like I don't know how to describe it. It's from the Radical Reformation. Yeah. Then we have one proposed by Johannes Stoeffler in 1528, and he had also predicted one in 1524. So he just revised that date from 1524 after, or like to 1528 after his previous prediction failed. And in 1524, it says that a planetary alignment in Pisces was seen by this astrologer as a sign of the millennium. I have to look up what the millennium is because it's capitalized. It's not talking about like the year, like the 1,000 years. What is a woman? What is a millennium? Okay, it's a hoped period of joy, serenity, prosperity, and justice. Okay, that makes a bit more sense now. Then we have one from Michael Servetus, and in his book called The Rest. Oh, this is in 1585 that he predicted this. When he predicted it was going to happen. In his book, The Restoration of Christianity, the Spanish-born reformer claims that the devil's reign in this world had started in 325 AD at the Council of Nicaea and will last for 1260 years, thus ending in 1585. Wikipedia needs to give more information on this. I mean, maybe it does. Okay. Wait, hold up. This is number 50. Wait, what is this? 48. Okay. Hold on. Give me information about this. Hold up. There's a way to donate to Wikipedia? I'm not doing that. Okay. Hmm. Yeah, no, I don't. I mean, I ain't seen much more. Doesn't give reason as to why they predicted those years, but all we know is that they did. Amazing. We have one from Martin Luther. Uh, you know, that guy, the dude who wrote the 95 Theses because of the Catholic Church doing a thingamajig about like money. I forget the full details. No, it's like the Catholic Church was asking people's money so that they would have less time in purgatory. Martin Luther was like, "Hey, you can't do that. So I'm gonna write 95 theses as to why that's wrong." So that was that dude. And it says that this was in 1600 when he predicted it was going to happen. And he was a German priest and professor of theology known for starting the Protestant Reformation. Predicted the end of the world will occur no later than 1600. Still doesn't say why. Still doesn't say why. Let me see if I can find anything about this on his own Wikipedia page. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Alright, now we're going to go to the 17th century, and in 1658, our boy Christopher Columbus claimed that the world was created in 5343 BC and would last 7,000 years, assuming no year zero. That means that the end would come in 1658. Why? 7,000 years. My only guess with that is that it's like because there's like 7 days when God took to create the earth. But other than that, I don't understand this one. I mean, sure, I kind of agree with him on like when the world was created. I feel like it was more around like 4,000 BC, but I don't know for sure. Then I recognize this name, but I don't know uh who I don't know who this is. His name's Joseph Mead. He okay, well, So this was in 1660, and he claimed that the Antichrist had appeared in 456, and the end of the world would come in 1660. Again, doesn't give reason. I'm gonna skip ahead to the 20th century because that's second most recent, and I might recognize some names. Let me see if I do. Hmm. Okay, I'm a bit upset that I don't recognize any of these. Uh. Hmm. Oh well, I'll just read this random one from Philip Berg. He was the this is in the 11th of September 1999. He was the dean of Worldwide Kabbalah Center, which is a nonprofit organization located in Los Angeles, California, that provides courses on the Zohar and Kabbalistic readings, teachings online, as well as through its religional and city-based centers and study groups worldwide. Okay. Stated that on this day a ball of fire will descend, destroying almost all mankind, all vegetation, all forms of life. Again, doesn't say why, does not say how. Oh well. Okay, let's just. I don't. Do I recognize any of these names? I'll say one that I remember. There was one by this Swedish girl named Greta Thunberg. She predicted that the world would end due to climate change in like June of 2023. Um I I agree with her. I think by June 2023, I think the world's going to end and we're all going to die. So yeah. Uh Hopefully, cross fingers that that doesn't happen, but we'll see. Let's go. What? Okay. Then there's also people that predict, like, in the, further predictions of when the world will end. So let's check for the future predictions. There's one in 2026 on the 13th of November, weirdly specific, proposed by Heinz von Forster. In a 1960 Science article, this scientist predicted a date for the end of humanity due to overpopulation. Man, people are always like, overpopulation is such a big problem. It's like, no, it's not. Man, there's like plenty of room on this earth to have plenty of people and plenty of crops and everything. Like, we could have billions of more people. Well, that's not a problem I don't think we should worry about. We have, okay, then we also have one for 2028 by Kent Hovland. While clarifying that there is no way to be certain, this Christian fundamentalist Christian fundamentalist evangelist speculated that in 2015 that 2028 was most likely the year for the rapture. So, well, again, it doesn't give reason for that, but uh, I the rapture is an interesting way to put it, because like, rapture, from what my understanding of it is, it's like where people who believe that uh all of the good people in the world will slowly start to be like taken away, and their clothes will be like left behind or something on the ground or whatever, whereas people who did not follow the Lord will still be on earth, and slowly but surely throughout like the course of, I don't know, like a week or something, they will end up dying. So I think that's what the rapture is, but I'm not too certain. Now let's check this one for a prediction of a Google years, which is 10 to the 100. This is just predicted by various people. This is the estimate for the heat death of the universe, which is a hypothetical event in which the universe would diminish to a state of no thermodynamic free energy, becoming no longer able to sustain directed motion or life. I don't really have an opinion on this. I don't think we're gonna get to this point. I feel like Jesus is probably gonna come before this. I can't imagine why that wouldn't be the case, but I don't know. Then we have, okay, let's see. We have a prediction for 1 billion, which is what the end of the sun's current phase of development, which is when it will become a red giant, and it will either scorch or swallow Earth, which will occur in around 5 billion years from now. However, as the sun grows gradually hotter over millions of years, Earth may become too hot for life as early as 1 billion years from now. I mean, people think that Earth will become way too hot to sustain life in like 5 years. You think there's people who think that it's gonna last for 1 billion years? I mean, I do. If uh if it does last that long, I think it will last that long. But what I mean by that is, like, if Jesus don't come before then, I think, yeah, it'll last that long. But yeah, that's all I really have to say. Here, hold up, let me play some outro music for you guys. Hold up. I gotta play my usual outro music. There we go. Gotta turn that down. Alright. That's gonna do it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. I don't know what tomorrow's video is gonna be about, but I know it'll be great. I'll see you guys in the last video.